Hello, this is Ken Guscard. This is an introduction to DB2000's down and dirty roster printer. It was originally included as a temporary feature so that users had some means of printing while other USPS ITCOM programmers came up with a more professional piece of software, Report Wizard. However, the features in the down and dirty utility proved to be useful and generally very easy to use, so it was retained. Access to the down and dirty roster printer are from the Reports menu and print the roster information. Now you will see that there are several options here. We can print from a list of tagged records, or we can print from a query that was generated in DB2000, or we can print from the complete roster. Choose complete roster. When the utility is opened, you are presented with a bunch of controls and a blank page. The first thing to do is to select the style of the report that you plan to make. The report type drop-down lists a number of different options and the choice of two paper sizes. When the smaller size is selected, there is also the option of printing in a landscape mode. This is intended to provide easier cutting if the page is actually printed on 8.5 by 11 stock. It is not intended for printing wider pages, although it can do that up to a point using list formats. The report type determines what features are available, but all types except for labels have the ability to have such general page items as headers, footers, line separators, date, and page numbering options. The reports are of three types: tabular, list, and labels. The tabular kind allow the selection of the number of columns that would be used and the relative positions of text on the page layout itself. The list types have no particular column information and they're restricted to one, and the collimation of such a page is determined by the number of items that is included in the list. In this case, subheaders and subfooters and column headings can be added. The labeled style is restricted to the Avery 8160 or equivalent label, and is primarily intended for making address labels. Of course, you can put any information you want on the label, but it's restricted to that particular style of sheet. In all report modes, you are able to select the font that you wish to use. And opening the font utility, we can see here that we are able to select whatever it is we need. And when we're done, we select OK. The only thing to remember here is that there is a limitation. The font that you select will be applied to the complete page and not just to part of it. In the label mode, you can print on partial sheets of labels if you have them. The diagram here indicates the labels that are active as colored green and inactive as colored gray. You can clear them all here or reset them all here. When you right click on a row, it disables or enables alternately. So for instance, if you have a partially used label sheet and perhaps this is where you left it and those are the labels that are available, then just turn off the ones that are unavailable and it will print on the balance. However, please be careful, because once you have made this selection, it's going to apply to every label sheet. So if you're using up just a partial sheet to begin with, be sure to print that one page first and then set them all again so that the following pages will be full sheets. So with this brief overview, I'm going to return to the main screen, and next I'm going to do a series of demonstrations on the down and dirty roster utility, explaining each type of report so that you will be familiar with its capabilities. And remember too that it is not a full-up report writer. It does have its limitations.